What's up? What it do, cyber world? Sorry about that. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, baby babies. AshSaidIt.com. Yes, we are on the move in a groove again. It's a Sunday. It's a beautiful Sunday. And we got some places to go, y'all. Of course, it is Rum Punch Brunch Sunday. So you need to be in Duluth, GA, right there off of Steve Reynolds. My friend, he is new music. All right. If y'all don't know about Dreggae music, go and check out Dreggae.com. That is reggae with a D up front. Go check him out. Check out his music. He's got a lot of stuff underway. And a lot of stuff going on. So, Dreggae, love you to pieces, bro. I appreciate what you're doing. The movement continues. It continues to grow and continues to replenish. So, I got, a DM, a direct message on Instagram asking about relationship issues. And wants to know, Ash, is he into me? Alright, so I'm driving, so I'm just going to kind of paraphrase what she said. She basically said that she met this guy through a friend. They've been talking, chatting on and off. He hasn't technically asked her out on a date. They hang out in group settings. Is he into her? Is he not into her? Okay. Basically, I will tell you, and I'm just going to be upfront with you. Most of the guys that I've encountered and the situations that I've seen in the marriages and the long-term relationships that I see, if a guy is into you, he's going to make it known. There's going to be no question in your mind that he's into you. There's going to be no question whatsoever that this guy is feeling you on another level. Now, if he just seems friendly and flirtatious or whatever the case is, but hasn't necessarily made a move, he just not that into you, I guess, you know. That's all that you can gather from it. I feel like it's really not a woman's place to demand from a guy, oh, well, are you into me or are you not into me? Because you never know. Some guys like the chase of it. Some guys like to be in control in that aspect and say, yes or no, we're dating. Yes or no, we're in a relationship. Yes or no, I want to be just yours. So when these new age women, which I'm not downing at all, but I'm just taking from situations and people. I know a lot of guys. Not necessarily guys that I've dated, but guys that I know. And some of them don't like it to have the forceful female to jump up and say, well, hey, well, what are we doing? Whatever. They want to be the one to make the announcement. The same thing with the whole marriage proposal thing, with having the females do it. I wouldn't personally do it. That's just me. I'm but one person. And a lot of the guys that I know would not be into the female basically reversing roles, essentially, and telling them that they're going to get married. It really just takes that whole special part of it of him asking you to be his lifelong partner, whatever the case is, that takes away from it. And even though we may feel sometimes that we need to just step in and take charge and just, you know, pull the bull by the horn and just, you know, flat out or whatever. I don't know what that was. But and, you know, just take charge of the situation. We have to really be careful not to emasculate men. Because I'm guilty of that. I have done that in my past, in my earlier years, my earlier formative years, especially in my early 20s, when I did not know a lot about dating, relationships, guys, things of that nature. And I would just demand things of men, and I would say things that I did not realize at the time were emasculating them as men and made them very, how can I put this? It made them very insecure with themselves because of how my approach was, and my approach was too abrasive. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I learned earlier on to not be as abrasive and to allow a man to be a man and step up to the plate. Now, if maybe I'm dealing with somebody or talking with somebody and they haven't stepped up to the plate, I can only assume that, well, they're not that interested. Which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not going to invest time, effort, energy into it if he's not really interested. I'm wasting my time. That's how I look at it. So, look at the context clues and you know the answer. You don't need Ash said it to tell you anything. You know the answer within yourself and what you need to do and whatever the case is. But, yeah. You know what you need to do. And you know if that dude is into you or not. You know. So don't do anything to embarrass yourself. Because I've been there as well, too. Oh, you gonna tell me something. Oh, yeah, he gonna tell you something. You ain't gonna like what he got to say. Keep on demanding stuff of man. Now, I am a traditionalist in that aspect of I want to be the female in the situation. I don't want to feel as though I have to dictate to someone and to direct them in every single aspect. I want a man to step up and be a man in the situation and to not allow me in certain situations, in certain contexts, to take over, because it's easier for me to take over. I've been raised differently than a lot of other people, both men and female. And because of how I was brought up and the situations that I encountered and experiences that I've had, it makes me a little bit crazy. What else can I say? It makes me a little bit crazy in the aspect of I feel sometimes so compulsive. I feel very, well, I can't think of the word, y'all. It's a Sunday, and I can't think of these words at all. A little OCD, a little obsessive compulsive, I would say, because we're so used to being in control and to handling the ranks to where we get in the presence of a real man, we have issues with letting things go and to letting go of some of the rank because we're just so used to handling everything. It's a little difficult sometimes to let go of some of those ranks and let the man be the man, because at the end of the day, some of us are brought up to, to be able to take care of yourself and to be self-sufficient and things of that nature. Not necessarily to need a man, but to be able to handle yourself in case you don't get a man or in case the situation does not necessarily work out. So I think that because some of us are raised under those pretenses and we forget sometimes, it is nice to have someone. Who does not want to have someone in their life that they can share things with and to be close to and to spend time with? Everybody wants that. I don't care who they are, who they think they are, who they say they are, or what they say they're doing, and all things like that. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants that. So, at the end of the day, what do you want? That's the bigger question. What do you really want? And make sure that it's worth it. Standards. Let's have standards about ourselves, ladies. Let's have standards about ourselves. I'm so saddened to see so many women lower their standards for guys that are not worth it. It's the craziest thing in life. It's the most frustrating thing to see a beautiful woman who has her career in set, has her life in order, her bills are paid, she's got her own house, and she's got this bum dude that's just hanging around. He's just hanging around, waiting for her check to clear. And I'm just like, but sweetheart, you are so talented. You deserve way more than taking care of somebody else's problem. And when I say that, I mean, everybody hits situations. I'm not putting anyone above or below anyone else. Everybody has situations. But you can't let those situations define you. And to have a woman to take care of you, I personally, I can't speak for everyone else. I kind of look down on that. I kind of look down on that because the man is supposed to be the provider. And yes, these are gender roles. I get it. But the man is supposed to be the provider. The man is supposed to be the protector. The man is supposed to be the one that is head of the household after God. So when the gender roles are switched and the woman is doing everything, she's raising the kids, she's buying the groceries, she's taking care of the car note, she's feeding your ass, and you're just up there playing PlayStation all day and checking out internet. What is the real purpose of you, sir? Really and truly. But they're not fully to blame, because I blame the females as well. We've lowered our standards, ladies. Some of you have lowered your standards. And it is just so very sad, because you don't believe that you're beautiful. You don't believe that you're worthy. You don't believe that there are better things out there for your life. And you're just so hell-bent on what society says is normal, what society says you should be doing at this age, what society says that you should be accomplishing by this time. And I just have to say for that, that's a bunch of bull crap. That is a bunch of bull crap. Whoever said in society that things are supposed to be a certain way, they can go... I'm not going to say that. I'm going to try to just keep this little PG. I already said ass already, but if I didn't, there it is. Anyways, we got to set standards for ourselves, ladies. We got to stick to those standards. And if they don't meet and exceed those standards, what are we doing? What are we doing? So you got to look within yourself. And if a guy is not willing to meet those standards and exceed those expectations, keep pushing forward, because there is someone out there for you that sees your beauty, sees your worth, and is willing to make it work. Willing to. Absolutely willing to. So I just want to say that I love you guys beyond words, and I know that we're going to do better. We have to do better. We have no choice, because it's just getting crazy out here in these streets. It's just really getting crazy, but we have to set those standards. We got to stick to them. Got to stick to them. It's too many females out here that feel, oh, well, I'm supposed to be married by this age. Oh, I'm supposed to be having my first kid by this. Let me tell you. Part of the reason why I stopped going to my home church, it was because I started getting those questions from people, and it was annoying. Because at first, it was kind of like, okay, kind of a gradual thing. Well, do you have a boyfriend? Oh, child, you ain't a lesbian, is you? No, I'm not a lesbian. Just because I don't have a man doesn't mean that I'm a lesbian, okay? All right, let's go ahead and just put that out there in the forefront. So, and there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian. It's just not my cup of tea, you know? Nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. But people make these assumptions because of what society has put out, those standards that society has put out there. People have these unrealistic notions of where you should be in your life, and it's just not fair, and it's just not right. Now, me personally, I'm not the one. I'm not the one that's going to do that stuff. I'm not going to appease anyone. And even my mom, before she passed, years before she passed, she would always crack jokes and say, you know, I'm never going to get a son-in-law because you are just too picky. Now, even though she would crack that joke, and, you know, I knew that she was, you know, joking with me or whatever the case was, she knew that I set standards for myself, for my life, and I would never bring anyone around my family unless I knew that this person was someone that was worthy of being in good company. Because in all honesty, my family, like my blood relatives, mom, dad, brother, sister, they've only met one boyfriend in the last 15, 16 years. They've only met one. Now, I've dated a whole bunch, but they've only met one. And really and truly, the only reason why they met him was because I was in high school. And they wanted to meet who I was hanging out with. Wink, wink. So, and he became a part of the family. They loved him to pieces. My mom absolutely adored him. You cannot tell her that was not going to be her son-in-law. Oh my gosh. But life happens. Life happens. You move forward. You don't stay in the past. Things move on. And I mean, we were young kids then. It was fun for what it was, but we were young kids. I mean, I don't know how else to put anything else. We were young, and maybe I had unrealistic expectations for future, or what I thought that idealistically everything would be and how things would turn out. But life doesn't go that way always. The ideals that you may have in your head are not necessarily what's reality. And so that's pretty much what that is. You know, we were young. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what to not expect from other people. And more than anything, I just learned a lesson that taught me people are not who they say they are always. They're just not. People are not always who they say they are, so. And then you come to the understanding that some people are just cowards. You know, and it's nothing that you did, and it's nothing that, because I went through that whole, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but that whole breakup was very difficult for me because there were years invested. And not only just years, my family absolutely loved him. So very much. They absolutely loved him. And when things fell apart, it was kind of like, oh. And I think that a part of me was a little ashamed because I somewhat, and this was just really weird, I kind of blamed myself in a part of it. But later on, you know, after therapy and stuff, I came to the realization that it wasn't my fault and that people are just going to do what they're going to do. That's just it. Point blank period. People are just going to do what they're going to do. And I just have to accept that. Some people just feel like they can do whatever, and that's just what it is. So, what can you do? What can you do? But just accept it for what it is and move forward. And I was bitter for a lot of years because that was a very hard breakup. I was in love with this guy. My family loved him. I had shared very intimate details of my life with him, and it just was a connection that was not meant to last. You know, not everybody that's in your life is meant to be there forever. So after that, and I felt betrayed, I felt a whole spew of emotions. And I was very hurt for a very long time. And I was very spiteful to men. And very bitter. And just very angry. For many, many years. Many, many years. It was many years after that until I actually went on a first date with anybody. Because I just felt like it's just going to be the same. I'm going to entrust in them. I'm going to trust them as a person. And they're going to betray that trust. So I spent a lot of years just being very bitter, very angry, very not nice, and it didn't get me anywhere. It didn't get me anywhere. It was not fulfilling, and it was just not a good place to be. Not a good place to be. So I am thankful that I got out of that, because being bitter and angry and mean and hurtful to people hurt people hurt people. You know, if you're a hurting person, you want other people to hurt, you're going to try to hurt. And that's where I was. I was in a very hurt, I was in a very dark place, and I was not accepting to anyone. And I could have very well encountered the love of my life, but he was quickly turned away because I basically was like, look, I'm not letting you get close to me. My heart is under Secret Service protection, and nobody's gonna get to her. But that was a direct reaction of having my heart really broken by someone. And it was very much not expected, and it was very much not a place that I wanted to be in. And I just never understood why some guys just don't stay up front with everything. I just don't know. And it just is what it is. It's not my fault, it's not your fault. It's just what it is in life. I was in that deep dark place. I was very mean. I was very bitter. And you can't. What I learned also is you can't treat every guy with the same. You can't treat every guy the same as the one that hurt you. And I learned that as well because I was basically prosecuting every guy and charging him with the offense of the main guy, the first guy. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the situation. It's not fair to the potential relationship. You're not even giving it a chance. And my friend used to joke and call me Lucy Lou from the first, what was that? Charlie's Angel movie. And I don't know if you guys remember that first movie. Like, there's a scene where they're at the party, and every guy that's coming up to her is like, hey, can I? No. Hey, would you like to? No. And can I get you? No. Every answer was no. And they're like, Ash, that is totally you. That is totally you. Because, you know, when I'm in a committed situation with somebody, I'm in a committed situation with them. Like, no one else matters. I'm not going to entertain someone else. I'm not one of those that's going to sit up here and juggle multiple men. That's just a lot of work. That's just too much work right now. I do enough work where Ash said it, so I'm not going to take on any extra work for it because it's just not going to be my cup of tea. It's too much work. I got enough stuff going on. I don't have time to sit here and juggle multiple men back and forth. And then you see females that... And I don't down the online dating. I don't down it because I've done it. It was not as successful as some people have had successful. I know a lot of people that have married people that they've met offline, have had successful relationships with people that they met offline. That just was not the case with me. I met all the weirdos and the crazies. But I know people that go onto these dating sites and have like a different date every day of the week. And when I asked her, well, why would you do such a thing? And she's like, well, you know, I gotta find my husband because, you know, the psychic told me. Okay, wait a minute. Wait one doggone second. The psychic. Yeah, I know people that's like that. It's crazy. It's absolute bonkers. Yeah, it's craziness, but that's the way that we have some standards going on. You know, at least have him match what you have. You know, at least that. Because if the only thing that he bringing to the situation is twig and berries, you in for some hard times. You in for some real issues. And some just bad things. bad things. So, I'm going to need for y'all to step it up. Step it up a whole bunch. Because very promising, and it's just looking very, very bad. Very quite doggone bad. Very bad. Very damn bad. Very damn bad. So like I said, I'm on the road and boat, and maybe actually able to go and check out my frat brother from another mother, Dreggae music out at the Coconut Grill. I'm sure I think they close. I think it stops at like 5 or 6. I forget what time it actually ends, but I'm gonna try to step up and get through there before it ends, because you know that's how we do. That's how we do. That's how we get it in, babies. Yes. Your girl, AshSaidIt.com, Ash Said It Daily, is on all the major platforms. We are featured on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher. I'm forgetting somebody. iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn app. All right. I'm on all of those, so you can download me everywhere. There's no excuse not to catch your latest episode of Ash Said It. No reason not to, because your girl is just always every kind of ways. You never know what I'm going to come up with next. So if y'all keep sending me questions, info@ashsaidit.com, info@ashsaidit.com, we can get things done. We can get things done. We can get things done. We can move things forward. And we can get it in. Get it in. I'm One Love Ash across social media. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Kik, Pinterest, everything. I'm also Yelp Elite. I'm an elite member of the Atlanta Yelp team. So if you want to find out about some of the greatest, best, most wonderful eats in and around the metro Atlanta area, you definitely want to hit up ashbeezy.yelp.com. Alright, go to my profile and you can check out some of the places that I've highlighted. Some places get 5 stars, and some I wish I could give no stars because they were just so horrible. Alright? It was bad. It was bad news. Made my stomach hurt a little bit. Just a little tad bit. It is what it is. It is what it is. So that's the story. That's the story. I appreciate and love you guys to pieces, to pieces, to pieces. As we make our way out there and we doing some stuff, make sure that you're following your heart. Make sure that you're following your heart, your soul. You don't let anyone talk you out of your dream. Because there are some people that are just so miserable. They want to see you miserable too. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you doing stuff. They want to see you miserable as hell, too. So what they're going to do, they're going to say all kinds of crazy stuff. They're going to say all kinds of things that are not good for you. Why? Because they want to be negative. Why? Because they're not happy with themselves. Why? Because they want you to be miserable, too. Misery loves company. And I'm learning that more and more each and every day. Each and every day I'm learning that so much. It is so disgusting how screwed up some people really are. And most of the times than none, it's not even their fault. I blame their parents. I do. My grandmother always used to tell me, she said, when you see a kid out in the streets acting up, doing wrong, or doing something they're not supposed to be doing, you don't blame the child. You blame the parent. Somewhere around the line, they screwed up. Big time. And it is not the child's fault. They didn't know no better. They didn't know any better. So, at the end of the day, people need to take responsibility for their actions. That's it. That is it. That's it, man. I'm telling you guys, it's pretty much how it goes down. Yeah. But I want to say that I love you guys so very much. Thank you for downloading the episodes. Thank you for checking out AshSaidIt.com. That is AshSaidIt.com. And supporting the movement, because it's been a phenomenal movement all across the globe. I mean, right now I'm in China. The Chinese are tuned to breezy. That makes me feel good, y'all. The Chinese are tuned to Breezy. I'm just having a grand old time, and it's really on account of you guys. It's really on account of all the love, all the support that you guys have shown me, and that you have really put in my realm. And I thank you for that, and I celebrate you each and every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And because of that, I also want you to follow through with your dream. Whatever it is that you want to do in your life, you can do it. You can do it. You just have to believe. That's the first step. You've got to believe. If you don't believe it, you'll never talk anyone else into it. You'll never convince anyone else that that's what they should do, or that's how they should think, or that's what they should consider. You've got to believe it for yourself first. That's the first and most important step, is believe. Everything else pretty much comes from that. Because if you believe, you will achieve. If you believe, you'll find the willpower to push forward no matter what. That I can guarantee you. That I can guarantee you. So, as I head on out, I'm about to head up down this highway. The highways and the byways. Anything that you want to do, jump out the gate and do it. Make it happen. Make it a reality. All right? Don't let anyone talk you out of your dream. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. I am living proof that it's possible. It is very, very possible for you to do it. You just got to be able to have that willpower to push forward on it. Now, if you don't believe it, then yeah, you probably ain't going to achieve it. That's just real. It's just me keeping it 100% for you. If you don't believe it, you won't achieve it. So, what you gonna do? 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 You gotta believe it. First and foremost, you got to believe it. Believe it, you will achieve it. Tell them that I sent you that way. I'll let you know. Anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you turn to look them in the face and say, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history, baby. Watch me do it. And watch me, ooh. Alright, that was extra. That was a little extra. A little bit of extra there. Not much, just a little extra. A little extra time in there. But, yeah. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You just gotta think about it. You gotta figure out if it's really what you want. If it is, jump out the gate. Do it. Make it happen. What's keeping you from it? Your own fear? That's what's keeping you? Keep going. Keep going. Because at the end of the day, you're going to make it. You are going to make it. So, keep pushing forward. Know that Breezy loves you. And you will achieve it. Alright? Deuces. I'll holler back at you. Happy Sunday. Rum Punch Brunch Sunday. Rum Punch Brunch Sunday. Oh, Dreggae Music. Dreggaemusic.com.